can you tell us a bit about Aquafact?
Happy to do so, Aimee, yeah. I studied in the university here in Galway. I studied zoology, and particularly marine zoology. And in around 1977, 78, a little bit later maybe, things started to change, not only in Ireland, but also in Europe, when the ecological importance of projects came to the fore. And a couple of us thought at that time that it might be a useful thing to set up a consultancy service to specifically address the area of marine science and specifically marine ecology. So we set up Aquafact, and it's been going since then. So it's about 38 years old at this stage. We have about 20 people employed, but just recently we've been bought out by a British company. So now the overall number of people in the total company is about 500. So it's a big enough company. Most of our work is in Ireland, but we do a little bit of work abroad in parts of Europe. And the furthest place I've been to myself was to Perth in Australia.
Oh my gosh!
That was a long trip to but I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was great. So that's what we do. We study the animals in the sea, particularly on the seabed, and we try to predict if there is going to be a development, such as, for example, the expansion of the Galway docks here. What effect that might have on the marine ecology, the plants, the animals, and how significant that impact might be.
Yeah. And what led you to being interested in marine biology? Did you want to do it as a kid, or? No, I didn't actually. I wanted to study birds, and when I did my leaving cert in school, I decided I would come to Galway because there was a bird expert here. And I said, I'll come to Galway and I'll study with that person. However, when I arrived, that person left. Why? I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the way things happened. I stayed and I had a great time here as a first year. And as a second year, the zoology course came on. And it happened to be in the marine ecology. And when I heard about this new area for me, totally new area for me, I was completely and utter gobsmacked by it. And I was taken over. I forgot about birds and started to study the sea. The universe intervened there, I think.
Yeah.
I knew it was the right thing for you.
Maybe, yeah.
Cúis Clada has been a big part of the cultural fabric of Galway. So would you like to tell us a bit about that?
Sure, happy to do that indeed. One of the first things I did in the university besides studying was to join the college choir. Mixed voice choir of about 60 or 70 voices. It was an interest that I had as a kid as well. And then 2 years into the choir, our conductor left. He wanted to go to study music down in UCC. And by chance, I happened to be asked to hold the fort for a year. That lasted for 10 years. I was the conductor for 10 years. And then the university intervened and said, O'Connor, if you don't finish your PhD, we're going to throw you out. So I had to give up the choir. That was the college choir. And in that gap year, two of the college choir singers came to me and said, we're thinking of setting up another choir. Would you conduct us? And I said, oh, be delighted. And that was in 82. And I gave it up 2 years ago during COVID. I said, I was going to retire at some stage. But we had a great time. Did a lot of traveling all around Europe. We went to the States once. Did a number of recordings. Why choral music? I don't know. It was just something that was innately interesting to me. And it was virtually all unaccompanied choral music, so we didn't do any of the big works like Bach and Mozart and those sort of pieces. We just did smaller works, and we concentrated on music from about the 1400s to about the 1600s, and then started again in the 1900s, and then modern composers as well. But it's still going strong. It's going fine without me, so it's good news too.
Well, I'm sure you're sorely missed.
Not at all.
What's been your favourite country to perform in?
Wow. I think without a doubt Italy. They're mad for a start. It's so diverse. There's the food and the wine and everything is so different from parish to parish. The Italian language is fantastic to sing in. So I'd say Italy. Yeah.
And is there any pros and cons to being a conductor? What do you like about it?
Well, maybe I'd say the cons. I can't sing.
Really?
Yeah. Conductors don't sing, no, which is a thing I loved to do. The pros, I guess, is a chance to express yourself in a very, very deep, passionate way, where you're transmitting the meaning of the music to the singers, and you're trying to get them to respond to the interpretation of what you think the composer meant. So that sort of intricate, sort of multi-layered level of it. Choral singing is quite unusual in the sense that you're not an actor, but yes, you do have to act. You can't use your arms, you can't move, and yet you've got to get all the passion of the music through your voice, through your eyes, through your physical presence, and that's quite a demanding thing to do. And then you have the multi-layered element of it as well, the different voices. You've got the basses, the low voices, then the tenors, then the altos and sopranos. And sometimes composers write for maybe 2 or 3 different lines within that, and so you get this huge texture as well, really rich and impassioned singing, which is really, really interesting as well.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite carol?
I do indeed, yeah, I do indeed. There's a one called Past 3 o'clock on a cold and frosty morning.
Haven't heard it.
Yeah, that's a nice one. But I think maybe the one that is quite haunting is In the Bleak Midwinter. Yeah, it's beautiful.
No idea.
What else? Adeste Fidelis is a great stalwart as well. Yeah. All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Best song. That's my favourite.
Okay.
Got so much in common. You went viral in 2015 with in Iceland.
Oh, we did, yeah, we did.
Can you tell me how you came about deciding to sing in your thermal baths?
It was our last day. We had just finished our last concert. I had planned that we would finish off in the lagoon, the warm water lagoon, and I don't quite remember how it came about, but somebody said that there was a group of, I think, Polish people on the far side of the pool, and somebody said, why don't we sing a song in Polish? And so we did. And then somebody said, there's a Scottish person over there too. So we sang Loch Lomond, and that's how it came about. And it was gas how people were so interested in it, and quite a nice profile of people too. There were some interesting people who saw it and who commented on it. Great bit of fun, and purely by accident. It wasn't designed. It wasn't planned at all in any shape or form.
How did the Polish and Scottish person react?
They went well. Yeah. Luckily, we had a couple of Polish people in the choir at the time, so our pronunciation wasn't too bad. And the Loch Lomond piece is a fun piece anyway. So it kind of has you don't really need to be Scottish to enjoy it. It's bit of fun.
Up next, we have Saoirse Rooney with 2 incredible filmmakers who we all know very well. And that's it for now.